When people do something different, we like giving them names. A great example of this would be Shroud being called the King of Reddit, Armada from the Melee scene being called the Swedish Sniper, and Keudae from Valorant being called El Diablo. But there are a few times where you give someone a name where it rings out even outside of what they're known for. Let me introduce you to Jacob Rabon IV, also known as Alpharad, who has received the nickname of the Internet Funny Man. Why? Because he creates content that's very engaging and interactive. Not in the sense of that you can personally interact with a lot of it, until he decided to do Twitch Plays Pokemon on his own Twitch channel, but more so in the sense of that he's incredibly funny. When he creates content, he tries to captivate off of every single moment to make it as good and as funny as possible. This has given him that nickname. But let me tell you a little bit more about him. So I'm not gonna go super in depth. I'm probably not gonna go as in depth as an example in my Shaggy Conroy video. Mostly because there is a video that already does that 10 times better than I ever could by InkThinks, so I'll link that down in the description below. However, I can tell you some more basic stuff. So, an example, Alpharad actually used to be a film student, and he was really interested in doing something within film and cinematography, but he wasn't quite sure what. You see, he didn't like the idea of being limited to one area where if you're an editor, you're normally just an editor, or if you're a producer, you're normally just a producer. He wanted to do a little bit of everything. And so, in that sense, he found himself limited. What does he do? He turns to YouTube, starts creating content, is incredibly talented at it, and has some of the best editing on YouTube as a whole, even back when he started, which is hard to say for most channels. And on top of that, he can turn most moments into something pretty funny, even if it's just saying forward aerial. Why would I say that? Why would I say that forward aerial is funny? Well, let me introduce you to how Alpharad actually started getting big as a creator. You see, Alpharad created montage type content on Smash Bros, where he essentially just kinda did stupid things to kill people. So he blew up off of Smash 4's release because he would make a series called How to Play 101. But during that series, he essentially showed how you can play the characters, but also did the twist of playing them in a way that's probably not ideal. And along with this, he made a video towards the end of it called Forward Aerial.
I don't know why you thought that this is gonna work better than the Luigi, but it's kind of over for you, buddy. We're going down.
Mario!
Where he played Mario and essentially just tried to spike them with his forward aerial. Which, for anybody who doesn't know what a spike is in Smash, a spike is when you hit them so that they fly straight down. Nintendo calls them meteors, I don't know why. Just call them a spike. They got the term from volleyball, and it makes sense to call it a spike. You could tell that he also wanted to brand out. He started making content on other games. A great example of this would be him essentially making videos on games where they ripped off other games. That he would do this on games such as a Minecraft ripoff, a Mario Bros ripoff, and a Pokemon ripoff. And these were some of his best videos, along with what would later on turn into I played blank so you don't have to. He would create this series on games like Jump Force and Balan Wonderworld, which were, to say the least, disappointing games. Were not very good. Along with this, he also has created some of the funniest and most engaging and hilarious content that I've actually personally at least seen on Among Us, where we ended up seeing people like Altrive essentially creating this character of Pikmin 4, which would do absurdly stupid things for content, and it was incredibly hilarious.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Oh, he's getting mad about that.
Welcome.
What happened?
Welcome to my meat lair. Can I interest you in some meats?
Can I buy a meat?
On top of just that content, he has also expanded into more content. He personally has expanded and created a band by the name of Ace of Hearts that he actually consistently creates music with. They actually released an album at the end of last year, which was actually not that bad. I've heard people say that it's not the best album, and sure, it's not. It's a debut album, but it is good for what it is, and I keep hearing people say that it's not very good at all. I disagree. There are some songs that are weaker than others, but it is overall a pretty decent album. And honestly, if you want to listen to some music where you might be able to find something you might enjoy, I recommend checking it out. On top of that, he's started to do more content like Pokemon Nuzlocke, where he essentially kinda just has a rivalry with Pokemon Challenges, aka Jan. With Alpharad being as smart as he was with the way he was creating content, constantly referencing other creators and allowing other creators to reference him, it essentially kinda just became a ground of collaboration between him and other creators, even if it maybe wasn't the most intentional thing from the start. And some of the more interesting content Alpharad has created in recent time has to be his more live action takes. An example of this would be his copypasta theater video, where he invited other creators to essentially read out copypastas and try and make it come off as them trying to be more serious, which turned into some pretty hilarious moments.
What the fuck did you just fucking say to me, you little bitch? I'll have you know that I graduated top of my class in the Navy SEALs.
He also trapped his friends in an unsolvable escape room, where he also essentially tricked them into thinking it was solvable by having a group go in first and solving the escape room, which turned into a really funny video. And he also did Romeo and Juliet without rehearsals, which is quite interesting. I mean, hey, at least they play Toxic in it.
No. I need somebody toxic. Just toxic. No, not that toxic.
Why was that the joke I had to make there? Oh god, I'm so disappointed in myself for that being the joke I make. Oh, why? With that aside, essentially, Alpharad is a creator who is very willing to try new things and very daring into doing it. He has gone from being this Smash YouTuber to just being known as someone who creates funny content on YouTube. And so, I really do think he deserves the name of the Internet Funny Man, because he is the Internet Funny Man. He doesn't limit himself into one specific genre or one type of content. He tries to explore and give new things a shot, and that's what makes him so great. Also, him throwing balls at people that are biking, but you know, we can ignore that. That was just... oh, sorry. That's just... I love that. With that being said, Alpharad is one of the most enjoyable creators to watch in the current day society. Whether it's from playing competitive Mario Party, to creating content, doing stupid things on Smash, to Among Us, to his copypasta theater. All of his content is very clearly made with a huge amount of care put into them. He wants the next video to always be better than his previous one, and I think for the most part he does essentially do that. And that is what makes Alpharad so great, as well as the fact that he's again one of the funniest creators on YouTube, which is why he has the nickname of the Internet Funny Man. That being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys later. Bye.